Alright dudes, we're about to head out to pick up something totally rad on this trailer. It is not a Subaru this time, but it is pretty sweet, so let's go check it out. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode here at the Subi Sanctuary. Here we have something a little different. You could call this the original Bug Eye. This is a 1998 Neon. A little unusual for the Sanctuary here. This car comes from the peak tuner era of the 2000s and dressed up as such. So it has a carbon fiber trunk lid, wing, carbon fiber hood. Also has 15 years of garage dust on it, which is pretty wild. So inside it is totally tunered out, mostly stripped out interior, one racing bucket, a slew of parts there, and I still have more parts to pick up for this car. So let's see under the hoodie here. Pretty sweet. So I believe this is the 2-liter dual cam 16 valve. I'm unsure if it runs. What I'm gonna do is throw a battery on it and put the windows up, so that I can at least start to wash the dust off the car. But first I'm gonna throw it up on the hoist and kind of see what condition the car is underneath. Being a 98 and being, you know, parked in 07, it should be pretty good condition because it still would have been a pretty young car at the time. The exterior of the body has no actual visible rust. It's hard to tell under all the dust. You get a little bit better of a view from here. So let's go ahead, put it up on the hoist and see what we got going on under this. Alright, with the Neon up in the air, you're able to assess some things. So it's got some little drilled and slotted front rotors there, some Coney adjustable shocks, and looks like Sportline springs. It's got a heavy duty poly motor mount there. I can't see the other one from down here. A little bit of a trans leak. Chassis itself is in incredible condition. Then it's a drum on the rear, but you can see up into the quarter panels. Super clean. Thing is definitely super slammed for a Neon of that time period. Like me personally, I can't remember the last time I seen a Neon coupe on the road. So this would be pretty rad to get going. I think first thing I'm gonna do is hook up a battery The windows have been down the whole time it's been sitting in the garage, so the whole thing is covered in 15 years of dust. It's kind of good there's not much interior to clean, but still a bit of a mess. I'm gonna get some power to it, see if I can get the windows up so at least I can wash the exterior of the car as we begin to work on it, that we don't get covered in crazy dust. All right, we've got some battery power now. Let's see what it does. It's kind of coming to life. Come on, window. All right, we got one window up. Progress. Okay, we got the lights turned on. I'm gonna try and wipe this a bit so you can see the mileage. I don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, it's down there. It's 137,000 kilometers on it. So I'm gonna see if I can get the driver window up here. Hey, driver. Oh, this one's much faster. There we go. All right. Very period correct tape deck. Sweet color matched dash underneath of this dust. Cool carbon fiber shift knob there. And an assortment of parts. A cool long tube header that was never put on. I think that would be definitely pretty rad to put on. Very sweet period correct racked of tachometer there. Neato, nice clean window. Then as well, there is another slew of parts to go along with this car, so I've yet to pick them up. I'm gonna pick them up soon. I'll show you what we got with the car as well. I think during that time, I'll probably give the body a wash, so at least it's not covered in grime. All right, well, I'm gonna get this car cleaned up. Hopefully when we cut back, we will have the rest of the parts for it as well, so we can show you what we got and kind of figure out what direction we'll go with this car. She is a dusty girl. So it's actually December here in Canada, so I'm kind of fortunate that it's not below zero at the current moment. And I figure this is a good opportunity to wash the car before my outdoor hose freezes. So let's go ahead and get this grime off. After the little rinse out there and a bit of a wipe down, so it sure looks a lot better. It looks pretty sweet. Like, I mean, if you got into a paint correction on this, it might just be awesome. It has a lot of, you know, scrapes and stuff like that, probably from things being put on it over the years, but still a huge redemption in at least wiping off the 15 years of garage dust. This side was the side that they would have entered into their house through the garage, so it is very covered in scratches from, you know, carrying things past it and stuff like that. It is just a cute little car. So I think even though these taillights are pretty period correct, I don't know if I would leave them on it. or try and find stock ones, which were all red with like a little white section down here. So they do look nice. Or if I would turn, you know, paint these red and leave the bottom white. But we'll see what I can find. There's not a lot of neon dudes left out there with respect to finding parts and stuff like that. So for the most part, we have picked up the final pieces that came with the neon. So as you can see here, we have a complete 4-piece body kit that had never been installed. It is definitely early 2000s in appearance. Pretty rad. It's done well for like sitting for almost 20 years. Like the fiberglass itself looks great. It didn't start to separate or break or crack or anything like that. So that is pretty cool. Then we also recovered an original body kit front bumper. It is the exact same as that new one there, but this one was in a little bit of a front bump. So I guess it was replaced by buying a new one with intention of going back on. We got the original rear deck spoiler, which kind of looks like a surfboard. The original trunk and the original hood, which is pretty cool. Then here, for the most part, we have all the original seats. We're missing the rear backrest, but we have that coming. It was just too deep in storage to recover at the moment. Last cool item in this video is some Momo wheels. These are very OO-like. They have a very unique feature about them, and it is this. You can remove the front spoke face and replace it with a different colored one if you so desire. So it's kind of funky. I don't think we do that much with wheels anymore. I think these, judging on my research, these were called Idea wheels with the interchangeable spoke face. Very interesting. These I wouldn't put back on the car. I remember these when they were on the car. They were a little too pokey and they're not totally in the best condition. So luckily Subarus are the same bolt pattern as the Neon. So I have these wheels on my little Type RA here. There's some, I don't know, they just say Sport on them, which is totally fitting for the car. They're a 16x7, so they're an appropriate size for the Neon. I've just been using these as rollers, so I think they would be right at home on the Neon as they're a little bit more tasteful in their appearance. Now, last we heard on this car is that the motor was blown. Something happened while it was in storage with some sort of, preventative maintenance attempt at the time, and things went wrong and the motor became unhappy. So in my own curiosity here, I am going to hook a battery up to the car and see what happens when we try to turn it over. I feel like there's no potential for it to run with how old the fuel is in the gas tank, but you will be able to hear, if the motor turns over well or if there is some sort of catastrophic failure, and from there it will kind of depict which direction we would go with respect to making this a road-going car again. So at this point, guys, let me know what you think about this totally sweet body kit. I mean, to me, the car as it sits is really cute as is, but do you think it would be wise to paint and install this super sweet body kit on it? Light. Oh my goodness. So I did check the oil. It has sufficient oil. It's very clean, but yeah, we'll see if it's even willing to do anything really. According to the gas gauge, it's saying it's completely out of gas. I decided we should give it a little bit of fuel. after the fuel. I am curious to see if the needle moved, because I mean it could just be the sending unit is seized and it's not able to read. Doesn't look like it changed, but anyway, now we know for sure it has some sort of fuel in the tank, so we can go ahead and see if this puppy will fire up. All right, at this moment, what are you guys guessing? It is going to start and be obviously a bad motor. It is not going to start and we won't know. Or it's going to start and be a good motor. So place your bets. I've hooked a line up to the fuel rail there. The fuel that comes out of it smells horrible. Like the pump could very well just be seized because of that. So what I'm gonna do is I have a line running into a catch pan there. I'm gonna turn it over, see if I am getting any fuel pressure, then I'll at least know if this is even possible. All right, unfortunately, there will be no definitive conclusion to the mystery of this car's motor. So I'm gonna end the video here, guys. Definitely stay tuned to see what happens with this and if this motor will roar back to life or if it is some sort of candidate for a swap. What do you think would be cool? Like a SRT4? Imagine a K swap in this would be wild.